For victims of violent crime and their families, the impact of those crimes is felt for years.
David County will be marking National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Valerie Craig is with Voices for Victims, and she joins us on the phone now with more. Valerie, thanks for being with us. Tell us out first what you do, what Tennessee Voices for Victims does.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us
Absolutely.
on today. Tennessee Voices for Victims is a victim advocacy group that works with victims across the state to just come alongside individuals. You know, when you're victimized, your story oftentimes gets lost. You know, a lot of attention goes to the person that has victimized you, the offender. And so we just come alongside and help them reclaim their voices and then also connect them with resources and just address the issues that are caused from that victimization.
So talk about the week as a whole, what happens and how do you guys help these people?
Yes, so every year a week is set aside to just give victims of crime a chance to be remembered. This started under the Reagan administration, and it has happened every year since then. And Davidson County always chooses the Sunday, because that's the first day of the week, to have our ceremony. And so that'll be on Sunday at 2 o'clock at 50 Forward. And the ceremony is really designed to allow people whose lives have been impacted by violence to come together to see that they're not alone. Violence is very isolating, and so they have the opportunity just to see that other people have experienced what they have experienced. And then it also gives them an opportunity to hear people remember them. You know, when trauma happens, we oftentimes will have an audience, you know, those first weeks or maybe even months after that trauma occurs.
Mm-hmm.
But people grow weary of hearing those stories. Mm-hmm. And the person who's experienced that trauma, I mean, they need that opportunity to process and share and talk about what has happened to them. And so this is just a time that we're able to set aside every year and say, your pain has not been forgotten. There's, you know, hope in the journey as you're able to move forward. Others have been here before you. Do not lose hope. You know, all of those kinds of things. And so that's what we'll be doing on Sunday.
Well, watching the video that you guys gave us to run here, it is clear it is a very emotional event, and it may be a very healing event for some of these families.
It is, you know, it's healing to come together. I mean, even if you have never had maybe what somebody else has had happen to you, crime is very similar across the board. You know, you may have somebody who loses a loved one to homicide, and, you know, that grief is very real for them. But you know what? Grief is also really real for a robbery victim because their sense of safety has been totally upended. And there's a grieving process in that. And so I think as individuals come together and they realize that they have more in common, it is really healing.
Well, you got a good host in our Jamie Vaughn here.
Yeah.
You know, working in the assignment desk like she does, she's exposed to this type of stuff pretty much 24/7. So I know she empathizes with the families that will be there.
She totally gets it, and we're so excited that she's going to be there.
Thank you so much, Valerie.
And look forward to hearing about the event on Sunday.
Great. Thank you so much.